All right. Then, Ben, I need you to excuse us. This is my private financial.
The caption says tenant evicted over 8,000 plus owed in rent, which is basically 5 months that she didn't pay plus court fees.
All right. Then, Ben, I need you to excuse us. This is my private financial issue.
You can go outside the building. This is my property.
All right, let's go to the truck.
And we have the paperwork through the
Ben,
city.
please, I hold your feet.
No, ma'am.
Ben,
We are at the
this
point.
is thousands of lives involved.
We are out
I
thousands
promise
of dollars.
you, but that's what I'm giving to you.
No, we're not.
It wanted to take 5 months.
Huh?
Oh, wow. She trying to pay now?
Are you the landlord?
I am.
Okay, hold it.
Of course.
She's writing you a check.
We went through court. We're doing the physical eviction right now.
Okay. Ma'am, don't write that check because she's not going to accept it.
So who do I write the check to?
He's not going to accept it.
We are beyond the point of taking rent at this point. We are doing the physical eviction today.
I didn't hear you.
We're doing the physical eviction today.
Mr. Herbs,
Yes.
I went to the court yesterday to pay the check, but all right.
Yeah, but why are you going to the court yesterday when you've been on money for 5 months and now you're trying to write the check? Because if you can write the check now, then that means you have the money to begin with. And y'all, there's going to be more to this. We got more lined up. We're going to watch part 2 next. But so maybe that'll be uncovered. Maybe we'll find that out. But of course, the most obvious thing, if you're writing the check now, then that means that you had the money to begin with. And by the money to begin with, I'm saying the $8,000 that you owe. So that means you've been sitting on the money, possibly, this entire time. And it's coming off like you were trying to get over on this situation. And now that things are actually transpiring and consequences are actually being brought to you, it's like now you want to make things right. Now you want to write the check. But then if I accept that check, which if he accepts the check, that basically voids the court proceedings. And then if he wanted to evict her again, he'd have to go through it all over again. So if he takes the check, then that he basically runs the risk of you doing this again, because what it seems like is it wasn't because of hardship. It seems like there might be something more serious going on. But we're going to find out. Y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And also if you could hype.
Or take a check point. We are done at this point.
I run 3 clinics. I have never written a
We are
check.
done at this point. It's time for the physical eviction. We have the paperwork through the
Ben,
city.
please, I hold your feet.
No, ma'am.
Ben,
We are at the point.
This is thousands of lives involved.
We are out
I
thousands of
promise
dollars.
you, but that's what I'm giving to you.
No, we're
It
not.
wanted to take 5 months.
Huh?
It took almost 6 months at this point.
No. Listen, I am not disputing what happened, but I wrote him ahead of time.
Ma'am, we've already heard it.
Listen, Ben.
No, we heard it when you're in court. He is here as a court officer for the physical eviction.
If I lied to him, I told him that the grand.
They're not asking you to dispute what happened. They're asking the $1 million question. The $1 million one-word question that only has 3 letters. They're not asking if you know what happened. They're asking why did that happen? Because that is important. Because that is also going to be an indication of if this could possibly happen again. But she tried to skip over that. So now I have even less faith in her. Because why didn't you answer that question? All these whys. I feel like there's something else to this.
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
Ben,
we are at the point.
This is thousands of lives involved.
We are out thousands of dollars.
But that's what I'm giving to you.
No, we're not.
It wanted to take 5 months.
Huh?
It took almost 6 months at this point.
No. Listen, I am not disputing what happened, but I wrote him ahead of time.
Ma'am, we've already heard it.
Ben.
No, we heard it when you're in court. He is here as a court officer for the physical eviction.
If I lied to him, I told him that the grant will be coming the end of May. And the grant came the end of May.
Oh.
I will get someone out here after they are out to get the locks swapped.
Please.
Well, what I'm gonna do
We got equipment.
is because of the equipment, I'm gonna give her a chance to get the equipment out.
Yes, please.
I want you to change the locks.
Okay.
And
They
move
schedule with
them
us?
from the building.
Okay.
And then
Please have mercy, Ben. This is thousands
Ma'am,
of
we're
lives.
talking.
No, I'm not being so bad.
I know.
But I wrote him ahead of time that I would give it to him the end of May, and it happened the end of May.
Okay.
Or take a check.
You all know I usually like to read the
Time that I would give it to
I usually like to read the captions and let you know beforehand, just in case you're on the mobile device. I forgot to read it on this video. To be honest, I thought it was just going to be the same as the previous video. And we're about to watch part 3. It's quite a few parts. But I wish I'd have read the caption on this first, because that gives so much more color into what's going on here and into how egregious this is. And honestly, had I read the caption, I'd have had even less sympathy for her and more sympathy for the landlord, because I was about to be like, oh, okay, because she mentioned that she was waiting on her grant. So ultimately, it's some assistance she's getting from an entity, probably not the government, but an entity that helps people. Probably they help the elderly. But what we find here is that on the caption it says, 2 weeks prior, she had $0 to give at court. Accepting a check now would stall the eviction and possibly restart the process on a questionable check. That's true, because you still don't know if it's going to clear, but if you accept it, then that could basically flag to the courts that you accepted the payment, though. But yeah, she had $0 to give 2 weeks ago. So it was only been 2 weeks ago. And if he takes that check, if he allows you to put it in his hand, then that could restart the whole thing. And the second part of the caption also explains why he probably doesn't want to accept it. Because the second part of the caption says, the tenant refused to leave after her 30-day notice, filed a motion to stay after a legal eviction. Her 24-hour notice where they can come and do the writ of eviction was dragged out over 14 more days because she filed a motion to stay. So she's been stalling things. It could be because of that grant that she said, but I can empathize with the landlord why he doesn't want to take any more chances. And this is happening because he had already gave her the 30-day notice, and then she filed a motion to stay another half a month after that. Again, if you could like the video, helps more than you know. You have no idea. Let's get back into it.
so bad.
I know.
But
I
I wrote
realize.
him.
All right, so we got to read the caption though. Tenant was month to month, hadn't paid since December 2020, filed a motion to stop eviction after May 4th court date.
Ahead of time that I would give it to him the end of May, and it happened the end of May.
Okay, I'm explaining to him what we're gonna
Ben,
do.
please.
Ma'am,
Have
please.
mercy for the patient.
Ma'am, please stay back.
What's your name?
I'm gonna give her a day to get this stuff out.
Okay.
Chris, I work for him.
You know,
Okay.
and that's gonna save you money.
No, I understand, but I wrote
Then
him in the
you're
beginning
at
and told him
$7,000
that end of May, just like my
So,
other landlord
I mean,
in Portage.
Change
We
the
had a
locks, we'll
bailiff.
remove them from the
We
property.
Okay.
pay all the time on time. But
Give
the
her
bailiff
a
is
chance
60
to
some
get
more.
the
She got
property.
COVID, and we
And
lost her
then if she
June.
doesn't get the property,
And all
then
of
we'll
our
but
money
this is all
from
medical
June to
stuff.
December
We don't
we
want
lost.
anything.
For this business, we
We're
lost
in the process of we just got a new
You're
roof.
trying to leave the building. You and your people are gonna have to leave the building. We're gonna change the locks on the building. I'm gonna give you 24 hours in which to remove the property, but you have to work with him to remove the property.
But that's why I'm begging him, please. We are human
He's
beings.
not gonna let you stay.
No, even you don't let me stay, but give me a few days.
Ma'am, you
I
do-
wrote you this email. Ben, I wrote you
Ma'am,
this email.
when we went
that
to
I will
court,
pay you
the judge
interest.
said the 15th. You can't just say, I'm going to pay you interest and this and that.
Judge.
We run a business, just like you're running your nonprofit here. We're
I
out
knew it.
thousands of
Okay.
dollars.
That's why I want to pay 5%
And we went
interest.
to
I wrote
court.
you this email.
We're
That
not
I will give
about
you
the interest at
5%
this point.
interest because you had to wait for 5 months. Let me pay 5%
No,
interest.
we're
That
beyond
gives you
that point.
revenue.
We went to court. You didn't offer us any rent up to that point. Your answer was, I'm getting grants. I'm getting grants. So now we're not taking money. We are taking our property
but
back.
Ben, I put it so bad.
I was lost. Now I understand what's going on. Okay, so you don't have to people. We don't have to feel bad. We don't have to feel like an elderly woman is about to be on the streets. Okay, because that's what I thought the context was. She has a nonprofit. That's what I could tell because she mentioned we help thousands of people. So most likely she has one of those nonprofits where like they do stuff in Africa, right? She probably does work in Africa with water or infrastructure or something. So she has a nonprofit that probably helps Africa, that does work in Africa, but that is set up and established in the US. Because there's a lot of African nonprofits as well in Africa. But she probably has a 501c3 in the US, which 501c3 is a designation for nonprofits. That's the most common one. Think of a 501c3 like a LLC for businesses, but that's just a designation by the IRS for nonprofits. So that's where she's getting evicted. She's getting evicted for that. And it's probably because although she's in the US, and that's why she said she was waiting on a grant. She was waiting on a grant and she finally got the grant. I mean, she got the grant. I feel like let her just go ahead and pay, but I get it. I get it. You don't want to take the risk. But that can't happen. And see, what you got to understand is there's been a lot of federal cuts as well with grants. So it's possible that this grant could pay for the time being, but it may not. She may not get another one either for a while because I know grants are very competitive in this landscape because there's a lot of nonprofits now. There's a lot of people making nonprofits. The nonprofit space is getting very saturated. And with that comes more competition for grants as well as with there being so many federal cuts that has also restricted the amount of grants. So you have two things working at the same time. You've got more and more nonprofits popping up, but then you got less and less grants. So it's getting harder and harder, and that's probably what she's running into. Let's get into the next one.
6 months behind.
It will never be 6
we-
months again because
It doesn't matter,
I
ma'am.
promise you in the email that
We
we got
went
new
through the
bailers.
steps with the court legally to get this done.
Yes.
Here we are at the day we can physically
You are right
remove,
legally, but
and now
it's
you're
still
offering us a
illegal, right?
check.
No, but because I promise you in this email that I will come with a check.
It's
Nobody-
No, but I wrote him.
Nobody can be living here.
Nobody, but May
Nobody can
15,
stay.
right
You've had
after
people
court.
living here.
No, nobody live
There's a
here.
bed right in there. The neighbors
Uh-uh.
sees people all the
No,
time.
no.
Your door was wide
No,
open
no,
one day after.
rooms.
Oh, wow.
Kind of confirmed what we expected.
Oh, wow.
There was someone staying at the unit. Tenant said that during COVID, hotels weren't safe. So that's why this was here for someone to stay at. We kind of feel a little different.
Well,
Can't live in commercial units. It's not safe. There's no fire regression. It's against the law, among other things. Next room.
Honest with you, but there's people coming
Get
in
your
here.
locksmith so
Okay.
we can change the
Oh,
lock.
nobody sleep here. I
I'll
checked.
work on her
I
to
want to
get
play
her
it
figure.
on
That
video.
is that black SUV not here like all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Come in
but
or not.
It doesn't matter. At this point, you have to physically leave the property.
Ben,
You're gonna
Ben,
have to
please
leave.
have mercy.
Ma'am, you have to physically leave
Ben,
the property.
look at me.
We are running our business, and this is what
That's
we have
why
to.
everything I promised you
No.
on May 15,
Ma'am,
I delivered
ma'am,
today.
you need to leave the
Please.
property now.
They're gonna change the lock.
You're gonna give her a chance to come back
Yep.
another day. You're gonna be able to come back and get some stuff.
I'm going to be honest. It's possible somebody could be living there, but I really didn't see that much clothes in that office to indicate someone was living there. That's going to be the easiest indication whether someone's living somewhere. If they've got all their clothes and all their stuff, it really didn't seem like there was a lot of stuff in there. It seemed like a regular office. And the only reason I'm saying this because if you're not aware, which these guys probably aren't aware because they probably aren't really too much familiar with white collar work. They seem more blue collar. But in startups, a lot of times, and startups are basically companies that are trying to become larger corporations, but they're still in the startup phase, right? Facebook used to be a startup, right? In startups, that is very common for the founders to have beds in their office, because that's kind of the idea behind it. It's like you're working around the clock, and it's like you never stop working. So they like keep beds in their office because they just work 24/7. Honestly, that's kind of what that looked like to me. That didn't look like somebody was actually living in there. I can understand just seeing a bed in an office just automatically raises a red flag. But for people who work around the clock, like in corporate startup type of culture, then you could see that that could be possible where they have beds in like in the office, like blow up mattress type things in the office, so they can get a quick little nap, lay down, and then wake up and get right back to it. So I think that's at the very least she could use that as a defense. But yeah,
I emailed him. I said the check is coming, and the day they promised me the check was yesterday. It arrived, and I came here yesterday. Nobody was here for me to pay.
But why did you wait till today to try to pay him?
Because they're waiting for
Because I
grants to
got
come
the
in.
check yesterday.
Chris,
I know.
Chris, no, listen. The check got to be in the bank before you write a bill, or I will be a criminal. I told him
Well, I
in this
understand that.
email, yeah, I told him in this email that the check will be here today.
The court's already made a decision.
Once we go to
What
court
do
and get that paperwork,
They
we
check-
are done at that point.
Yeah, I know that the court made a decision. I am asking you for mercy.
We are not extending it.
Please.
So you need to leave the
He's
property
gonna
now.
give you a chance to get your stuff out.
Yeah,
That's
you can come and get all your stuff at scheduled time with us. We don't want any of your stuff. But we're getting the property back today and changing the locks out. You need to leave the
Please,
property.
man,
You need to leave the
He's
property
losing
now.
money on this building, and he's got to spend.
I don't mind. He increased the rent. I accept it. If he want to use it, don't use anything. Let me turn the computer off. I'll be there. I emailed. Just think about the patient then. Life is tough.
I
but
am
it's not the
thinking
end.
about more than the patient. I'm thinking about if you don't pay us and no one does, we
No,
lose,
but that's why
we
I'm
lose
saying
the
give me
building.
another chance.
You're
And
not,
today
ma'am,
you
you
gave
need to
me
leave.
a direct-
You need to leave the property. The
If
court.
you take this check, you can
I wouldn't take a check at this point,
please.
ma'am. You need to leave
And
the
you
property.
can always draw your rent directly from our bank account. I told you that in the email.
And back in December we gave you the information. So
No, I didn't get it.
it doesn't matter. You didn't
No, but you
offer to
didn't
pay
give
us.
me any information.
I gave you the account number and the routing number in December
No,
for
man,
direct
I didn't
payment.
receive that. Let's be honest, like I'm honest. I didn't receive bank account.
Now, you'll have to get with him to remove your property.
Yeah, you told me
Okay.
that. I have to call him so he can come open the door for us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You make arrangements for a moving truck.
I beg you. Think about it.
We're done at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I want you to stay thinking about it. I beg you.
so never mind. I thought she had like a African nonprofit where they send money back to Africa, but it looks like she's got like a doctor's office or something. So she has like programs and has clients and has cases and all that type of thing. So for those type of nonprofits where you see a lot more programming and it's not like a nonprofit that's just fundraising all the time. For these type of nonprofits where they actually do programs and have clients, and they deal in case management, what you'll find is that they don't really get a lot of individual donations, and a lot of times they live mostly on grants. But you got to really make sure that you're keeping good records, keeping good accounting, and keeping good client records as well, so that you can showcase that impact and be able to continue to scale up certain grants. So her grants should be more stable than like a bunch of nonprofits fighting for a regular grant. She should be able to get the same grants pretty routinely, and that's probably why she knew when it was coming. Seems like she kind of let them know late. So that was the issue. You didn't let them know as far as the grant timing when you were expecting to receive that. And maybe it's because she had to get some documentation on her side to be able to provide to the grantors. Maybe she's not keeping good records, or she's not being or as organized as she can be to be able to write her grants more efficiently and effectively so that they go through faster. A lot of ifs. What ifs? We
Paid your
got one
workers this
more.
whole time for
The,
5 months?
the workers,
Yeah. Have they
I
gotten paid?
I begged them to wait for me
So you're
because
not paying them either?
because they understood that we assured them the losses from losing a bailer. What happened to our bank was somebody was bidding for us,
I
making the
understand if
claim
you're
that
billing,
died from COVID.
but you're telling me that they're not paid up to date?
They are not paid regularly because we were waiting to cash our finances.
Chris works for us. If I didn't pay him, he couldn't pay his apartment mortgage
I
or his
do
condo something.
understand, but they were
He would
kindly
lose his house.
understanding to us.
So
They know that I have never owed them for 2 years. It has not been easy for me, Chris. Sorry to call you
Chris.
Chris. It has never been easy for me this year.
you leave the
I know
property.
you are beyond, but
You
I am
keep
still
repeating the same thing.
appealing. Ben, the decision you are making is going to affect thousands of people.
Let's go.
That's what I want you to think about.
Chris doesn't understand. He's trying to use business logic for a nonprofit. Chris, that can happen. You know, at nonprofits, a lot of times it's volunteer. Now, you can still have employees at nonprofits, but yeah, it can be like that sometimes where they don't get paid or whatever the case. They still should. They should if that was the agreement and if they actually are employees, but it's not as simple as a regular business, right? They're operating with far less funds than a corporation is or a business structure would be able to generate. So that could happen. And also, like we're seeing, like the grant timing, but they're still probably small. They're still probably not that large of a nonprofit. So just dealing with things. I'm sure she'll get back on it, but that's going to be inconvenient, and he probably won't rent back to her again. So I hope everything works out because I'm sure she's doing great work. But y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you can hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button, then it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller content creator, we actually get more points per hype. And then also Patreon link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.